My coaching priority, of course, I am still working on sleep, clearly more effectively at sometimes than others. Um, but what's been interesting is that I've done a really good job of continuing to wind down at the right time and do all of the steps and get in bed. So for the past like 4 nights, I've gone to sleep really, really late. But for the past 4 nights, I was in bed on time. Right. And so, but last night I looked at the ceiling and I tossed and turned and you know what I mean? I could not get to sleep. And one of the things that I have decided that I would do for the most part is whenever I could is still try to get 8 hours no matter what. And I know they tell you not to do that, like wake up at the same time and go to sleep at the same time, whatever. I'm trying to get my 8 hours. So like last night, I remember at like 1 in the morning going, crap. Siri, set my alarm for 8 hours from now, right? Like just like I'm getting my 8 hours. Oh, oh, funny. Now Siri just set my alarm. But in any case, that's what I've been doing. And that was great because I got 8 hours of sleep, but I woke up much later than I had intended to. And then the crazy thing is because I was in such a fog, I all my brain remembered is that I can sleep until the alarm goes off because I got up at 4:30 like I normally do. And I went back to sleep intentionally and I got up at like 6:30 and 7. Like I got up several times and I was like, nope, I'm going back to sleep until this alarm goes off. So anyway, so I'm still working on that and just trying to figure out what's happening with this latest bout of not being able to go to sleep. I had a pretty long run of being able to fall asleep within 30 minutes, and that was shortening. And then all of a sudden, it just isn't. So I'm not quite sure what that is. I think that the reason is that I've got a big event coming up on Wednesday. And I think my, monkey brain, as they say, is like taking over and just not allowing me to have that rest because I feel like I should be working on it continuously. So I think that's a big thing. And then I also have been working on my new website again and really spending quite a bit of time with that and feeling really good about that. And just since I have a couple minutes left, I'm going to show a screenshot of it, but I've got the wireframe back for the website. And now I love it. It is colorful. It is all of the things that I want. Yes, I've got stuff to change, but like for the first time in a really long time, I feel like the vision I have for my website and the way that it's starting to shape up are in alignment. And I think that excitement also has my brain like not wanting to shut off. Right. So that's what I'm attributing it to right now. And then if there's a third reason, then it would be I'm not in perimenopause, I am fully in menopause. And so I think that's some of it too, which I did after a lot of research, make the decision to go on HRT. And I've got an appointment on August 9th. And I'm super excited to maybe be done with hot flashes and brain fog. And so, I don't know if there's some anxiety around that. I don't really think so, but maybe, and certainly some menopausal symptoms that have probably got me all crazy. So that's it.
Questions, Filson or Charity? Clarifying questions.
Not from my end. I have questions just about life, but that's separate from this
Yep.
time
Mm-hmm.
for
I
both
was
of
just
y'all.
I was just I was just thinking about last time, Joelle, or maybe it was the time before, where you were in this space and you weren't sure what the space was, like if it was, you were supposed to be pausing, if you were supposed to be doing the next thing. So I'm just reflecting back on that, not so much of a question, but kind of like, well, yeah, that is a question, because do you feel like you have clarity on moving forward? It sounds like that with your website, and you sound like that's kind of, a focus. But I just kind of remember that from last time, there being like, well, I know what it feels like when I know what the next thing is, and right now I'm not really sure what the next thing is. So kind of almost like a status update, I guess, would be.
Yeah, I think what I decided is that I couldn't worry about the next steps if my health was not in a place where I could handle whatever's next anyway, and that my sleep was. And so now, I know that is crazy. It's all about sleep. And until I get that tackled, there is no other priority that takes, precedence over that. And then I'll get some little things done in the background. And I am finding that I'm reaching the clarity to do that.
Awesome. Thanks for clarifying. Okay.
As a extraordinarily uncoordinated person, are you doing more activity?
I am doing a little bit more activity. I'm doing more walking.
Got it. Yay.
The whole aerobics thing, that was just a no-go.
I was just getting
I
ready to
still
ask about
watch
the
it.
videos. I
I
was
still
literally
watch
just
it.
about to
I
ask.
like it. It's part of my little routine, but no, I'm not doing any aerobics. I'm just
Yeah.
walking.
Yeah. Got it. All right. Well, we will see you in 9 minutes.
All right.
I love the tone that the group is having. I don't know if it's because like the color coordination around the pink or what it's going on, but it's just very sweet. And how many women who I know who have sleep problems and we never talk about it in the society except in problematic ways. But thoughts, feedback, inquiry, resources.
I just want
emotional
to
support.
say the evolution of now this has become a priority, where I remember in one of the sessions she made her dad go to a sleep clinic, and that it's so clear that I don't even care about the next step is, let me get this fixed. Like, I think that's the beauty of us having the years that we've had together. We can kind of see the transformation, and there's not much to transform with Joelle, to be honest.
Exactly.
But to be able to see that, and yeah. And that's all I have to add. So I want to hear what everybody else has to say.
Yeah, no, same. I mean, you said it perfectly. My first thought was like, I am so proud of her for doing the 8 hours. Like, it's 1 a.m., like old Joelle, right? And thinking to your point, Phil, since we've had all these, points of, reflection, we can think back. Old Joelle would have been like, okay, let me go be productive. And she's like, new Joelle, Siri, 8 hours. And she, so, I mean, that's huge. Understanding that sleep is a priority, and also the flexibility, because she's right. That's the experts say, well, you got to get up at the same time. And no, I need my 8 hours. I'm gonna get my 8 hours, right? Like, that was beautiful. So yeah, definitely, man, very, all of that. Yeah. Trying to think questions.
Rue didn't come up, but seems like that granddaughter has some place to came up in my mind when she was saying there's no shut off. I don't know. I can't remember where it came up, but it was like lots of time on this. So like all the time being taken up by work and all the big time by what, it's like, what about Rue? Like, where's the shut? Like, if I'm not going to advocate for the shut off ritual, but like, can you get some, like, I don't know, something grounding, like that time with the baby, and I don't know, just some equivalent of like some joyful way to, or have a shutdown ritual. And is that working, or have you tried it? I don't know. That's where my mind went as well. It sounds a little bit like advice, but it was like the absence of that. And did you guys go on that trip together? And did you?
I'll be honest. My thought is Rue is number one in her heart. I'm sure it's there. She just didn't choose to update us on, because just after we saw the room for the party, that's what you missed out on in Charity when we went over to her house. But I was just like, oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yes. All right. So we're not worried about her making progress. How a place I want to go back to is, it's not exactly what you brought forward, but like she didn't get the shingles vaccine and she got shingles. So there's a way in which we need to be in between everything else being more important than taking care of her health. Because that's recent. That's like, I make sure my
sleep,
dad
I
did.
think
Go
the
ahead.
difference was not health priority. The priority is sleep,
Yeah.
which is, I mean, obviously can be argued that is health, but just saying the priority was making sure the 8 hours of sleep was achieved. So if there are other health concerns around that, also with menopause, but she sounded like she had that also in order. So that might have been some, not an oversight, but you know what I mean? Something that just was that happened. Because from what I'm hearing, I feel like she kind of does have those priorities of what needs to happen so that she can function as a human to her greatest ability, which is higher than most of us, right? But she needs
totally. Absolutely.
she needs her, her sleep and making sure that everything is in order as much. So I don't know. That's what I kind of got from it, but you might know more than I know because I didn't know about the shingles piece.
I just want to turn it up. I just I know she's doing great, but I just want to want her to hear this is a really important priority. Like put it on the list. I don't know. It's sort of your message, Charity. It's like it's your number one priority, whether you think the website or whatever is more important.
Just keep it there, right? Because it can kind of, all these other requirements and responsibilities and opportunities can kind of come and attack your health, and you're making sure that is, front of mind. So obviously, if that is happening, then making sure, okay, well, is there an opportunity for me to delegate or, what's the word? Make sure that this website doesn't overtake my sleep time or doesn't encroach in my wind down time or doesn't, making sure that whatever those boundaries should be are there. You can obviously, speak to that because health hasn't always been her number one priority. So yes, I would agree to make sure that those things are that it stays number one.
Yeah, and I was trying to think of, she was trying to give us those root causes as to why, because what I really want to highlight is she was successful in falling asleep within 30 minutes of going into the bed. It's just been the last 4 nights that, but then like what you pointed out, like she adjusted, she pivoted, like she's probably amazing in everything that she does. She pivoted and she adjusted, but like maybe outside, you said maybe this is the website, this excitement, but you're going to have exciting moments always.
Big event.
So
Wednesday.
how can we, what are things that you can do to mitigate, coming up with a routine for those moments of excitement? I think would also be helpful. Yeah, because I was like, imagine Joelle never slept all this time and she did this with Joelle with sleep, what she's going to accomplish. Like, I just can't wait to see.
Yeah, there's something up to as well. Like, so she's done the research on HRT. She's going to take it. Like when you believe something is going to be helpful, you get the placebo effect. So you can tell yourself, this is going to help me with then your body kind of does what it's supposed to do. So I think, I'm also feeling hopeful about that.
And glad that exercise is there, the walking. It's so funny because people always say just walking. I'm like, that's exercise. That is very sufficient exercise. So, but yeah, glad to hear that's there. Yeah.
It's kind of, it's part of having a really great brain, right? It's like, that's what, David Allen, the Getting Things Done, always talks about. Like, you can imagine things more vividly than most people. You can, like, they've done tests, like show them the lemon, and the people with these great imaginations can, produce more saliva. So take it seriously as your strengths come from this same place. And so your adaptive response is not your typical adaptive response. Wish we could just be more honest about that. Like some people, need to really turn it down. Like, I take, I put a lot of faith in somatic coaching and asking for help. And like, I don't, a lot of stuff I don't agree with, but like there are some things that are really powerful that, these traditions that oh yeah, that was my thought. Like I went to the flotation tank this last week. So you can do kind of extreme things to put in your mind what is a completely relaxed mode, which I know she's doing all that. So again, I'm sliding into advice, but we're cheering her on and appreciate.
Keep it up.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Wow.
Yeah.
Anything else? Final thoughts? Oh, Philson, you came off mute. Final thoughts?
I didn't know. I tried to come off mute, but I didn't do this part. I just want to say, like, just hearing and listening and the sharing, I'm just in awe, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it's just like there's a lot going on, and making sure and prioritize. You guys know that was a big scare for me. So this just helps me just watching the improvement as I am kicked off the stage.
Take your flowers and go.
Your award is all you get.
Yeah.
There's no more.
I love that music.
Oh my
I'm gonna
God.
start using that in team meetings.
Yes.
So anyway. Oh, that was helpful. So about Rue, I don't work on Fridays anymore. I keep Rue all day on Friday.
Yay.
And so that is a switch that I made. So yes, it is all about Rue. There is no other than Rue. Like, that's my girl. It is all about Rue. And that's a lot of fun. And she's feisty and she's gonna be feisty. So I love that. I don't know what it's been in the last 4 nights. Those 3 things that I was talking about with the event and all of that, that's just a guess. And part of me kind of doesn't even think that that's really it, just because I've had big stuff my whole career, right? Like I don't know, but it is true that old me would have gotten up at 4:30. The first time that I got up, I would have stayed up and I would have started working, or I would have gotten out of the bed and gone to my computer and start working. And that is a fact. And so I feel really proud of myself that I'm like, we're not doing this. We're staying in this bed. And it's just going to be me and the bed and the ceiling for the duration. And so that is that. So I don't know. Hopefully it's temporary and, we'll just kind of keep it moving. And hopefully, I don't know, maybe the HRT will work, but I've done a lot of research and we'll see. If it doesn't, I can do something else. That's all I've got.
That's it. All right. Let's take a 1-minute break.
Alrighty.